Hey champ, there's a really famous quote by the legendary hockey player Wayne Gretzky. You may have heard of it. He says, "You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take." But you know what, Wayne? I understand the sentiment, believe me. Buddy, I do. But people have taken this way out of hand. Have you seen how many of these online motivational gurus take that quote and say it as a reason why you shouldn't let fear of failure stop you from doing something? Like, shoot anyway, you're gonna miss 100% of the shots you don't take, boy. Yeah. Well, let me tell you a quick story. See, I used to be really good at basketball. Well, okay, relatively speaking, I used to be really okay at basketball. Like, I might look really tiny on your screen, but I'm actually 6'3", and I used to play for my college basketball team. On my first college match, I was nervous as hell. There were girls watching, I had my eye on one in particular, and I knew that if I was a sharpshooter, that would charm the pants off her. I would bag the princess. Now honestly, I don't know if you've ever felt real nervous energy, but it kind of paralyzes you. You can't move in the same way that you could before. Before I had these silky lizard hips, but this time I was like a robot. So somehow during this match I get the ball and I'm right by their basket. I'm like in line with the backboard, but there's no one around me and there's no one in front of my path directly to the basket. It should have been easy peasy, an easy peasy layup. But at that moment I froze up. The ball is in my hands, I could drive to the basket for an easy layup, but instead I decided to take the shot there and then, and bang, it bounced off the corner of the backboard. My opponent's running up, they scoop up the ball. It was truly pathetic. But hey champ, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, right? If you hadn't have taken that shot, you would have lived your life in regret, wouldn't you? Wrong. The fact that I missed that shot rather than going and taking an easy layup pissed my coach off that much that I was instantly subbed off and I had to sit out the next few games because she didn't think I had what it takes. So the moral of this story, and why I'm telling you such an embarrassing story about my college life, is that yes, it's true that if you don't shoot, you don't score, but it's also true that if you just shoot at any point and don't plan things properly, you can also set yourself back. So once I started working harder and only taking shots in high percentage areas, then my college basketball career got much better. I was a consistent first teamer. Now I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. It's not that sophisticated a link. You get what I'm saying, right? Now I get asked all the time by traders, do you open trades every day? Are there ever any sessions when you literally don't open a single trade? Of course I have sessions when I don't open trades. It happens all the bloody time. In fact, it happened today, which is why I've got a questionable hairstyle because I've been pulling my hair out all day. I was even going to be filming a live trade for you and I waited for ages for that setup and it didn't happen. And I was talking through the setup, talking through what I'm going to do for that trade, and believe me, if you think it's frustrating when you sit there and wait for a trade to open and you don't get it, trust me, it's 100% more frustrating when you're talking through the setup and filming the bloody trade from the start. And then it doesn't happen. And then you want to cry. And then you pull your hair out. And then you're like, F***. But what can you do? It happens. So here it is, I filmed it today. And some of you wonder why I don't film more trades. It's because of stuff like this. Because it's off-putting to talk through the setup. It messes up your own trading. Then when you actually do it, I mean, I sometimes sit through dozens of potential opportunities just to take 2 of them. What are the chances I'm going to actually film the opportunities that I end up trading? Anyway, I'm ranting, but check it out. Look, I did the commentary. Because you see you get 38.2 and this is actually the minus 27.2 is exactly on that level there. I talked through the setup, everything, did it all right. Then it gets down there. Oh, maybe it's going to be a type 1. The type 1 happened on the bullish candle rather than the bearish candle, which means that we haven't actually had an entry yet. Oh no, wait, it's going to close as a bullish candle, so there's no entry. That doesn't meet my entry criteria. Fuck. Look guys, I'm actually starting to sweat just thinking about it. But it was okay because look, there might have been another opportunity. It gets all the way up. I'm doing the commentary again. But it's straight away gone back to the top of this trading range and also the top of these trend lines that are along here. So I just want to see now if we can map something out that's going to be a useful trade for us. Then it gets there, closes as a type 2, but I don't trust it. The TMP doesn't seem like it's enough. But then guess what? It ends up being a good trade anyway. But it's testing the top of this range here, which is obviously a swing high as well, as this trend line closed perfectly as a type 2. And right now, if we entered at the start of that candle,
We'd be in profit by, what, 9 pips?
You know, if I did open all the trades that I saw today in a market that was quite tight and it wasn't that easy for me, if I'd picked out those trade entries where I wasn't sure, then we would have raked in a lot of pips today and I would have been really happy in the short term. But in the long term, there's a reason I'm not going for those. There's a reason I have trade criteria where I have to sometimes sit through a trade that ends up closing as a type 1 and has a bullish candle instead of a bearish candle, or closes exactly as a type 2 on a double confirmation and I don't feel I can go short. There's a reason that I have criteria that stop me going through those, is because they have a lower success rate, and it's like the equivalent of shooting and hitting the backboard. You'll sometimes get it in, but if you drive to the basket for the layup, it's going to be much better. So I've got no problem being frustrated at having to sit around all day like today when I'm pissed off, but that's okay, because as long as you're patient and you wait for those excellent trades where it's perfect, the setup's great, it's going to be a big move, if you only trade those ones, then f the rest, it doesn't matter. So guys, if there's a reason for your criteria, then stick to it. If there's no reason for the criteria, then think about changing it. But don't bend the rules and break your criteria. They're there to protect you. On average, I'd say that I open probably about 2 trades a day, and that's on average. So some days it'll be much more than that. Some days it will be none. And a lot of the time it is none, but that's fine. Okay, because good trading is not just about having good entries, it's also about being a good trader when there aren't good entries. It's about being able to sit through not trading, sit for a whole session and know that you're better than the opportunities that you have, that these don't match your criteria, and being good enough and professional enough to not have to jump in to justify that session for yourself. That's what being a good trader is all about. It's not just about the times you do enter, but it's about the times you don't enter as well. If you're sitting there doing nothing, but you're still following the charts, you're still trading. I'll elaborate on some of these things another time, but I just wanted to get this strong message across to you right now to be calm, be patient, don't panic. And I want to get it across to you now when I've been sitting there for a couple of hours with no entry when I could have entered when I was filming it for you guys. So it was the right timing for it. If you agree with what I said in this video and you watched till this point, then leave a comment saying hashtag Nicholas sucks at basketball, just to deflate my ego even more. All the links for how you can learn our exclusive method are in the description box. Thanks for watching, take care, remember to subscribe, I'll see you soon, bye bye.